All right, it's halfway between the show. You're underneath the Taco Bell and your mom hasn't talked to you in 8 years. You know what time it is. It's time for the Farce Side News with your hosts, Trevor and Liz.
I'm Liz.
And I'm Trevor.
And this is the Farce Side News.
The only news that thinks that the Patriots playing with deflated balls overshadows the fact that all players will be playing with no balls in the Puppy Bowl.
First Lady Michelle Obama came under fire this week when she decided against wearing any type of head covering while visiting Saudi Arabia. Thankfully, she did not come under fire in the way that other Westerners have while visiting the Middle East.
NASA is offering an $18,000 payout to a test subject who can stay in bed for 70 days straight. They could have narrowed down their search by specifically asking for teen bloggers and middle-aged men nearing the end of a chronic masturbation marathon.
Lucy Hale recently did a sexy photo shoot for the cover of women's magazine Cosmo that reportedly embarrassed her dad. Amazing that her father was more embarrassed by her modeling rather than her weekly performance on Pretty Little Liars.
A female Oklahoma high school sex ed teacher was arrested for engaging in sexual relations with an 18-year-old student. She was suspended with pay by the school for allowing the student to further explore her learning curves.
Children at an elementary school in Texas were partially strip searched on Monday when feces was found on a gymnasium floor. There will be a criminal investigation into the faculty's shitty behavior.
Scientists this week successfully unboiled an egg. Meanwhile, AIDS still exists.
Broadway star Joel Grey came out of the closet saying, "Well, if you have to put a label on it, I'm a gay man." Well, Joel, if you have to put a label on it, I'm a prostitute.
And I'm sexually frustrated.
And I deflated the footballs for the Patriots to get back at Tom Brady for not following me on Twitter.
And I'm responsible for the Disneyland measles outbreak to get back at Tigger for not following me on Twitter.
And I burnt down a 7-Eleven in Ferguson.
And I killed Liz's mom.
Wait, what?
Last month, England banned a number of sex acts from being portrayed in porn, effectively stifling actions like spanking, fisting, and even female ejaculation. I guess that British porn can now be described in the same way as British humor: dry.
An Arizona State police officer who assaulted a professor by slamming her to the cement sidewalk was terminated from his position Friday. It's always good to see ASU police stand up to the tyrannic rule of ASU police.
A drunk government employee accidentally crashed a spy drone on the White House lawn. In his defense, Joe Biden thought he was just playing Call of Duty.
A Houston woman married herself earlier this year. When asked how this will affect her everyday life, she said it will come in handy.
A woman in Clearwater, Florida, has been charged with assaulting her grandmother for not accepting her Facebook request. Police reports say the woman wanted to defend herself from her granddaughter, but couldn't figure out how to block her. Jesus.
The King of Saudi Arabia has died at the age of 90. The king's final requests were simple, as he just asked to be displayed face down so all the other competing oil suppliers can kiss his ass goodbye.
A deputy was lowered via helicopter to investigate an abandoned house, and to his surprise, was lowered into a pack of bears. The Bears were startled and avoided the officer as quickly as the Chicago Bears avoided the Super Bowl.
On Wednesday, Arizona lawmakers introduced a bill which, if passed, would legalize recreational marijuana in the state of Arizona. The bill was proposed as an alternative to the proposed budget cuts for university funding, thus continuing ASU's long legacy as an institution of higher learning.
A member of the Aryan Brotherhood was charged with stealing Hot Pockets. Because if there's one thing the Brotherhood is fond of, it's baking things in the oven.
Oh, shit!
A cat was hit by a car and buried after it was found in a pool of its own blood. 5 days later, the cat dug itself out of its grave, which means the impending zombie apocalypse is going to be totally adorable!
Oh my goodness, it's going to be the cutest apocalypse ever.
Cutest ever. And that's the Farce Side News!
And remember, if we don't say it...